Oh, I apologize. I was just talking away right there, thinking everybody was listening to me. Welcome, 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 everyone. I appreciate y'all joining us. As I was saying, and no one could hear me, I know that some people are still on the road on their way home. I know some people are still at the airport. I know some people have already made their way back. I know some folks are still staying down in Charlotte. But go ahead and check in. Let us know where you are coming in from currently.
Okay. Vera Tucker, Chicago.
Welcome, welcome from Chicago.
Bobby Walden, San Diego, California.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Jane Lehman.
Welcome, Jane.
Rick and Diane from Illinois.
Welcome, Diane and Rick.
Lee Perry, Charlotte.
Welcome, welcome.
Annette Sobar, Charlotte.
Welcome, welcome.
John Drennan, New Hampshire.
Welcome, welcome, Mr. Drennan. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better, sir.
I am, thank you.
Ralph Reagan, Langhorne, Pennsylvania.
Welcome, welcome. Hope you're feeling better too, Ralph. I think you were not feeling too well either this last week.
Thank you.
Deborah from
Come here, I'll show you.
Welcome, Deborah. It was a pleasure meeting you down there in Charlotte.
Doug Wilson, Louisville, Tennessee.
Welcome, welcome.
Will Dorr, I'm here with Spencer Hayden on our way back to Louisville, Kentucky. We actually just in the past 30 seconds crossed the state line back into Kentucky from Tennessee.
Hold on.
Welcome, welcome.
This is saying Zoom meeting, hang up.
If you haven't had a chance to check in, go ahead and check in. Let us know where you're coming in from.
Hey, Timmer and everyone else. Janae Holiday from New Albany, Indiana.
Welcome, welcome.
Love you, honey. I love you.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Penny
welcome.
Manning. Hey, Penny Manning, Tioga, Texas.
Welcome, welcome, Penny. It's great seeing you this last weekend.
Yeah.
Once you've checked in, go ahead and mute yourself out. Mr. Drennan, if you could keep an eye on the lines once our car gets started. How you doing there, Mr. Bird? Great seeing you there, sir.
Super fantastic. I was wondering if you heard me or not.
I did not hear you, but I see you.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Seems like
Hello,
I
Miss
just
Sheila. How
saw
are you?
everybody.
Hey, Sheila Bird, Centerville, made it home, Centerville, Georgia. Hello, family.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
Huh?
Appreciate y'all jumping on. We'll get started here in just a couple minutes. We'll probably give everybody another minute or so. We'll get started. Lots of folks, like I said, in transition right now. You have not had a chance to check in. Let us know where you're coming in from. Like I said, I know we got folks that are traveling. Let me get my picture on here. I can see myself. I'm looking at the photo and nobody was there. There I am. All right. Now I'm looking better. So anyway, I know that we got some folks that are in transition right now, people that are driving right now, people still at the airports, people that have made it back, people that are still down in Charlotte, which what a great time. What a great weekend.
Timmer, I'd like to clarify, this is Jane Lehman, still in Charlotte.
Welcome, welcome.
Still jumping on the vibes.
If you have not checked in, let us know where you are coming in from.
Wendell from Kentucky.
Welcome, welcome, Wendell.
Felicia from Southport, North Carolina.
Welcome, Felicia.
Charles Thomas from High Point, North Carolina.
Welcome, welcome. Right down the street. Once you check in, go ahead and mute yourself. Like I said, we'll go in for about another 15 seconds or so, and then we'll go ahead and kick this event off. Another 15 seconds, we'll go ahead and start. Appreciate y'all joining us this evening. You know, anytime you come out of events, you got a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, a little bit of fatigue, and a lot of just funness and all that. It was so great to see everybody. And we shall get started here in just about 10 more seconds. All right, well, listen, let's go ahead and kick off this conversation tonight with everyone. Welcome, everyone. Goodness gracious, we just finished an incredible weekend here in Charlotte, and we got to see some really great things. You know, it was my first time being able to be back in a convention for a little bit, and I think for a lot of folks, first time getting back into the convention. And, you know, I think that the vibe that everyone had the opportunity to feel was definitely one of family. It felt so good to see everybody there and giving everybody a hug. Haven't had hugs from so many of y'all in quite a long time, and hanging out and having lunch and, you know, just having a, you know, just a quality experience. And so tonight, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit and get some feedback from some folks that were at the event. We're going to talk a little bit about, you know, the announcements that were made at the event. So I'll talk about that here in just a second. But I figure what we'll do is let's start out because I know there was some folks that this may have been your first convention, the first time you had the opportunity to get out and see what we're all about. So I'd like to go out to anybody. I know I can see some folks on. This was their first event with us. And who'd like to kick us off tonight? If this was your first time at a Legal Shield convention, we'd love to hear from you. Hello, Miss Wendy. Good to see you. But we'd love to hear from you. If this was your first event, go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and share a couple of takeaways that you had from this incredible weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina. Who'd like to go first?
I will. This is Will.
Go ahead, buddy.
Okay, my connection's a little spotty. I'm coming through the foothills of these mountains still. I'm super tired as well, but I'll give you the best little rundown I can. I'll speak on me and Spencer's behalf both. We were really, I don't know, I didn't know how I was going to feel about convention. We talk about how, you know, it's a life-changing event, and I just couldn't agree with that statement more after, you know, finishing up with convention. We just hearing all those testimonies were absolutely amazing, like how it literally saves people's lives, quite literally, and, you know, giving people an opportunity that, you know, is super rare and truly is amazing. I don't know, it was just really inspiring and motivating just hearing all those testimonials. Like, God, there are just countless ones that I'd have to go look over my notes to think of specifics, but I was really motivated and inspired by it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And congratulations, Will. Will was recognized on stage as one of the top 40 under 40. In fact, he's only 21. And so he was recognized as one of the top recruiters. And so congratulations, Will, and appreciate you. And it was great to meet Spencer. And I know that, you know, he had a great weekend as well. Who else would like to share? If it was your first time being at a Legal Shield convention, who'd like to go next?
Okay, Timmer, I guess I'll go.
Hey, Wendy, go right ahead, young lady.
Well, it was, for me, I feel like it's probably going to be, or it is life-changing, because my perception of multi-level marketing, it was very different. You know, as I mentioned to you, coming from Primerica from 25 years ago, and you know, it's really good to see John Addison there. And but the perception that I had of Legal Shield was quite different because of my experience with prepaid legal some years ago. And so coming to the convention and just, wow, here I am 2 months in, and just so glad that I did not pass up on the opportunity of being there, because now I see what this is really about. And I can just see myself, especially in some of the people that, you know, spoke. I actually had the opportunity this afternoon to meet some of the other people that, you know, just were there, the, you know, top leaders in this company, some of the people that were up on the stage, and just everybody's willingness to, you know, help. It doesn't matter if you track to who your team you're on, it doesn't matter. everybody is just so open and willing to help you to excel and just to do well here. And that's what I probably would say I love about it and what makes it so much different than what I had been exposed to with this type of marketing. So I'm just so blessed, grateful that I was able to be there, and just looking forward to, to doing some big things. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And it was a pleasure to meet you and hang out with you and speak with you and learn from you. I mean, that's the thing. We learn from every single person, no matter how new they are. And I know you'd mentioned that you remember from many years ago, I believe your uncle or your godfather or somebody was a top leader in Primerica, national sales director with them. And I know that, we were texting back and forth while John Addison was speaking, and, both just talking about what a tremendous event it is. At the time, we were currently in the event. What a great event it is. And really what a great event it was. So I'm super excited for you, Wendy, and appreciate you making your way down there. Anybody else, this is your first time at the convention?
Timmer, this is my new associate, Deborah. Go ahead, Deborah.
So this was my first time at the convention, and it was just, I was just overwhelmed. And it was, the people were amazing. The testimonies were amazing. The experience was amazing. It was just really overwhelming. And I really enjoyed every moment, the whole thing.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Deborah, as well. And, I know that Deborah recently came on. I mean, like, gosh, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, if I can remember. And I've been noticing Deborah coming on our weekly Zooms, and, to make that commitment to come from Colorado out to Charlotte, North Carolina, that's coast to coast almost. And here's what I think everybody that's experiences there, you're like, wow, that was so worth it. Right? I mean, if you never did anything other than just learn from what you learned, it was an absolutely incredible event. So it was great to meet you as well, Deborah. Anybody else that it was their first time?
Hey, how's it going now? It is Mr. Charles Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's my first time going to a I've been in like leadership maybe like about 7 months now, but it was my first time going to that event, and it was definitely life changing, man. It was tremendous. Met some great people down there, great energy. I love the testimonies down there. And I love everything that the leaders were talking about down there. It really changed my perspective on the way I think about business, and also about serving people as well. So that's what I really enjoyed about that convention.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. It's interesting. I've heard 3 people now that have used the word testimony. And as I was listening, when you just said that, it really got me thinking. Everybody who has a testimony is somebody who is tested, right? They were tested. Something kind of, jumped in their way, or, was designed to inhibit them from getting something accomplished. And, one thing I think we heard over and over and over this weekend was designed for greatness, right? I mean, I went back this morning and was watching actually the choir that was singing. I caught him on Facebook, and that was just a powerful way to kick off our morning that day. Anybody who was there, I could see them smiling. Everybody's like, yeah, that was powerful. It's going to be the best day of your life, and it was the best couple of days of our lives. I can promise you that. Thanks so much for sharing. Anybody else? It was your first time being there. All right, going once, going twice. All right, let's go out to some folks that have been before. Listen, no particular order. And Carlos and Sheila, I'm going to save you guys for some comments, near the end, with your all's years of experience, network vice presidents. So I'm going to save you all, near the end for some comments if I could. But anybody else that would like to share, tell a little bit about the experience. I mean, for a lot of us, it was the first time getting back out again, right? And being able to hug folks, high five folks, and do all that. And not to mention, Charlotte was an awesome town. I mean, I live here in North Carolina, and got to go out a couple nights down there, and the weather was really, really beautiful. So that was fantastic. But who'd like to share? Who else would like to, let's just start going, try and go one at a time. Raise your hand if you want to, and I'll call on you. So it looks like Jane, I'm going to go out to you, young lady.
Hey, I'm not going to waste time here tonight. We're back. Legal Shield is back. Harlan Stonecipher's heart is back in this company. It was absolutely incredible. What an event. And I want to share two things. It was really for everyone personally. Everyone would have gotten different things, as we know from each convention. Two things that really touched me because they really make you think. And one was from Alex Shahid. He said, there's nothing anyone can say that makes more sense than what you tell yourself. And I started telling myself a very different story several months ago. And the other thing was from J.R. Riddle. He said, if someone is determined, no one can stop them. And if someone is not determined, no one can help them. So where do you stand? Back to you, Timmer.
That's awesome. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I mean, there was a lot of great comments. I'm going through all my notes right now and looking at them, but I'll hold my comments for right now. Who else would like to share? Anybody else?
Hey, this is Penny Manning.
Go right ahead, Penny.
This is from Don Thompson. And of course, our logo this time was Break Free in 23. And he says, of course, we're all here to change something. And what we normally think of is, what am I breaking free of? You know, what am I trying to shed? What am I trying to get rid of? Like bad habits, excuses, things like that. But he says, we really need to think also about, what am I breaking to? I'm breaking to my passion, my full potential, you know, my goals, my dreams, total control of my life. He said, believe in yourself until it happens. Back to you.
Awesome. Again, great comments. I mean, it's there was so many, so many things that people said that resonated. Again, I'm not going to take any away right now. I'll save my comments till the end. Who else would like to share?
Timmer, you've got Annette and Linda with their hands up.
Oh, I see hands up there. Go ahead, Annette.
Annette Zobar, currently in Charlotte. The event was just amazingly spectacular. It started off with our Chief Financial Officer, Steve Williamson, being incredibly emotional while he's telling us the financials. I'm an accounting professional, and usually when people are emotional like that, it's because the financials are really bad. We have amazing financials, very robust, but he was speaking from the heart. He was speaking about all the great things that this company has done to get to where we are. And it just kept getting better and better and better. Our CEO talking about, we are a relationship company. He's brand new, but I think he gets it. And that was just so impressive. And on a more personal note, of all the great things, one of the coolest things that I was able to do was, I'm on the chat in Ellis Engage all the time. And there's one of the staff people, Bree, who has helped me out countless times. And I was able to meet her and give her a hug and take a picture of the two of us. And it was just really fun, just building those relationships. And we're back to the original DNA of this company.
That's awesome. I got to see Bree there. I love Bree. Bree is so awesome. I mean, she was answering my Facebook messages throughout the entire event. And, the home office, when you see them, you realize that they are the home office. When you're chatting with them or when you're on Facebook with them, it doesn't feel exactly the same. They're there to help. But when you see them and you feel the passion in what they do. And again, I'll save my comments for our new CEO for a few minutes, but you know what? He raised my level of confidence and belief in him tenfold, right? Because I only got to see him speak just a little bit here and there, and definitely a much different personality than our former CEO. But I mean, you can tell, he delivers straight from the heart. So, Miss Linda Beck.
Hello, everyone. I just arrived here in somewhere in Ohio, just short of Dayton. So I'm traveling home. This is Linda Beck, and it was a great weekend. It was awesome. It felt good to be there. The people had the right attitude. It was great hearing, if I can call him Warren. It was great hearing Warren. I appreciate his dry sense of humor, and it was just fun. A couple of the things that I think I took away is that how easy it is And this is partly from the breakout sessions before and from the convention, that, you know, how simple it is that we can go out and make 2 exposures a day and be successful, you know. And I'm making a point of doing that. I told Annette and Lee, that my housemates this weekend, that I'm gonna start Monday making sure that happens, you know. Darnell, I think it was, made a comment, or somebody, one of the leaders made a comment that it was 10:30 at night and he had realized he didn't make his two exposures that day, and he went out and did it. Or maybe it might have been Melissa. I'm not sure, but it's just so easy. And the other thing that I was very happy to hear is them talking about the fact that we can use the whole wheel. You know, I've been in trainings where they say pick a major: group, business solutions, or networking. And this weekend, it wasn't that. It was, you can do both. And I thought that was very exciting. Back to you.
Absolutely. It was absolutely wonderful seeing you. And I got that picture you gave me sitting downstairs right next to my bedstand. My wife goes, that does. Linda gave me this picture. I got to share this story. You know, we were at the Galt House a few years ago, and they got all these pictures of these little jockeys. And, you know, Steve, I remember when we were there, he goes, Timmer, it's amazing how many little statues they have of you around here, you know. And Linda gave me a picture of that Steve had taken. And so I've got sitting right next to my bed. So every morning I get to wake up and look at my jockey self. So thank you for bringing that. Anybody else want to share? Make sure you jump right in, folks. We're not going to hang around here all night long. I know lots of people want to talk. So just, you know, if you want to talk, just, yeah, because I can't see everybody's, you know, hands. So just go ahead and start talking if you want to.
Ted Wilson. I'm still in Charlotte, but my home is Louisville, Tennessee. This convention was more like the conventions we've had in the 10, 15 years ago. It was almost as if Mr. Stonecipher was standing right there watching and nodding his head and applauding and bringing people on. Orange Selecting didn't teach us anything about Legal Shield, the business, but he did say one thing. He said at the breakout session, he says, when you have a high need to help people, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know the membership. You have to know about the associateship. So you need to know so you can convey it to the other people. I got really fired up at the end of the first session on Friday, right at the end of the first session, with Brian Carruthers. We all know Brian Carruthers is a bit of a terrible infant. He is not anymore, or he wasn't there. He talked about what he did with his church, and I'm not going to explain that because I can't, but he has a heart of gold for doing things. And he transformed me into a person who posted on Facebook, I have made a great change in my life. And the great change is I'm going to do the things that I need to do with the help of God. And that's exactly what Brian Carruthers said. And if you weren't there, you had to see the whole thing. I'm going to stop right now. Timmer, back to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, Brian, wasn't rare air this week. You could definitely, see some significant changes in his, level of, empathy and caringness and willingness to, it was just different. I mean, if you're there, you'll see it. And I know we're going to watch a little bit of Brian here in just a few minutes, but Yeah, it was, you know, a tremendous event from that perspective. Thanks so much, Ted. Who else would like to share?
Hey, Timmer, Lee Perry, Charlotte still. I think the thing that was amazing to me about this convention is that they did such a fantastic job of balancing, bringing back the future and building on that strong foundation, but making the necessary changes and providing a clear path for all of us to success, simplifying the things that have become needlessly complicated in the recent past. I think that if the top of your head didn't pop off this weekend, man, you're not living. Back to you.
It was great to see you, Lee. I mean, I just think about it. People haven't seen it in such a while and giving hugs too. It was awesome seeing you as well. Who else would like to share?
Watching Robert Bagley. Can you hear me?
Anybody else?
I think Robert is trying to share, but you can't hear him very well.
We're in the car, we're driving.
All right, anybody else? Looks like we kind of lost Robert then for a second. Anybody else want to share?
Timmer, I just want to say, I forgot to mention, we went to the breakout this morning, Shield Nation breakout, and although you did not find the typical leaders there, the leaders that were there did an awesome job. And it was fun and exciting. We saw some really amazing stories. We heard some amazing stories, and who's it? Annette, and what is his name? Hamilton, right?
Bill and Annette Hamilton.
Bill and Annette Hamilton were leading that, and it was very interesting. And they did a memorial for those that have passed this year. Apparently there have been 6 or 7 that passed this last year, and Steve was included in that memorial, and it was very nice.
That's excellent. That's awesome. Yeah, Bill and Annette, they make you laugh. I mean, how many times I've heard them talking about being from Old Hickory, Tennessee, which they are. So thank you so much. Anybody else want to comment on the event this weekend if you were there?
I wanted to say something about, I didn't come there to be ordinary. That's what that was something really special.
Well, let me tell you, just by being there, you are extraordinary. So there you go. That's awesome. Anybody else have any comments? I'm gonna go out to, okay, we'll go ahead and give it one more shot, and I'm gonna go out to Carlos. Actually, I'll go out to Sheila first, and then to Carlos, and then I'll put some comments in, then I'll go out to Mr. Drennan, but I'm gonna give everybody one more chance. If you want to share anything, feel free. All right, well, listen, let me go out to Miss Sheila Bird.
All right, thank you, Timmer. Absolutely. This convention was absolutely life-changing. It was, I would like to say it was a family atmosphere, right? It was so much interaction that was united family, making you feel good. And I love the fact that our new CEO, he was very personable. And he honored Harlan Stonecipher, and that #1 was just so vitally important. But one of the things that stood out for me and Carlos was how we got a chance to meet him personally at the event that they had for field trainers. And he just stood there to have conversation with you. He would call out your name. We even saw him on the elevator, and he just started calling that, "Hi, Sheila and Carlos," just like he knew us, and it was because he took that time to really get to know us. It's like, that is what I felt, that warmness from him, because, he wasn't trying to be over the top special. He was really truly just being himself. And so he spoke out in that way, which was very special to us. You could tell he cared about the company. A few times when he was making his speech, he just had to step back from it because it was emotional for him. And that's what made we didn't know him. We're trying to get to know him. And another thing he believes, he's like, hey, we're Legal Shield. He was saying that we're Legal Shield. We changed the name to PPLSI and a lot of confusion with that, but he was like, no, we're Legal Shield. And so, that was another great thing that we loved about him, just getting to know him that well. And then, the family atmosphere, just getting able to see everyone, to hug everyone, and to meet our new friends, Miss Deborah Jane. Got a chance to meet her with Jane, and she's just, oh my goodness, just wonderful. So it was just the family atmosphere. But I'm gonna tell you, one of the things that really hit home for me was in so many, I just did a lot of what everybody said, but Darnell Self was talking about our beliefs, and that's really what it was all about. Where's our belief now? Where do we stand believing in this company? And how are we going forward with this information, with this feeling that we have? It was important, the feeling that you had coming out of this event and taking it forward. And one of the things he said that was so profound, he said, everything happens for me, not to me. And that was just so profound because it's happening for you. And all of this is a part of the belief. Steve Williamson becoming cheerful, just talking about our mission and stepping into our greatness. But one other thing I'm gonna point out is Elizabeth Gardner. When she spoke, she was so profound. She hit the $1 million ring. But she said something, we're all wanting to get that ring, right? But she said, take that ring off the pedestal and put it right next to you as your equal. And when you think about that, because you put it up so high, you just think that, I can't get it. But she's telling you, no, put it as your equal and do the activity necessary to make it happen because it's yours. You can do this. So it just, the whole event was phenomenal. So I could go on and on, but I'm hushed now, give Carlos a chance. But definitely it was a profound event, and so grateful that we had the opportunity to go.
Well, when you hear somebody who's been in this company for decades say that it was life-changing, there was some powerful stuff that came out of it. And, I think the sense of humbleness that came from so many people that were up here, and, the CEO, that he really brought that level of humbleness. I mean, for his first time being out there to talk to us in the field, I had the opportunity to meet him and, shake his hand and say hi to him. Just very down to earth. He's coming in, he's learning right now. He's learning as we're growing, and that was powerful. Mr. Carlos Bird.
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? Timber, it was great to see you. We haven't seen so many people in so long, and it was a great opportunity where we got a chance to meet, like Sheila said, meet, shake hand, and hug, and those types of things. I know one of the things that was on a lot of people's mind was to see and meet the new CEO, who he was, and what to pretty much expect. And that was one of the things on my mind too. So, we didn't know what to expect, but after it's over, it was a phenomenal event. I remember when Sheila and I went our first convention, we didn't know anything about this company. We didn't know anything about the CEO, and that was when Mr. Stonecipher was in charge at that time. And the end of the convention, and when he spoke, that's what drew us into this company, is the heart of Mr. Stonecipher. He was unlike any other CEO that I've heard or spoke or even worked for. So he made an impression on us to where we grabbed hold to the belief of the company and just started to learn and grow as it did. And when we lost him, we didn't know what to think and how this company was going to go. I know we've been through a lot of twists and turns and things like that, But for the first time since we have met Mr. Warren Slitston, I can't even say his name, you know, like Sheila said, we had an opportunity to meet him face to face, shake hands, and it reminded me of how Harlan Stonecipher was when he would stand there and he would not move or leave or break away, and he would shake everybody's hand. He would even take pictures, and we did that as well with Mr. Slitston. So that was, number one, a reminder of how Stonecipher was. And then we got to hear him speak on stage. He did get emotional quite a few times, and he spoke several times. So in a way, it's getting a feel back the way how it used to be when Stonecipher was. So I got a feeling that the company is definitely going to grow in the right direction. It brought back the family feeling that we used to have. It even brought back where we used to have talent shows, pretty much showing the talent of all the people in Legal Shield. It gave people an opportunity to be showcased at what they do. And, you know, when they had that spirit is coming back. And I love it because it gives everybody an opportunity to see that our company is different. Our company can outshine anybody because of not just the product, but the people and the personal development that we have is unmatched to any other company out there. So I am excited. I'm proud to be a part of this company. I'm proud to see it grow. And I'm glad that we got someone that is following the footsteps of Mr. Stonecipher, because they brought, you know, his Mr. and Mrs. Stonecipher. They as long as they keep that face, and I think that we can continue to believe in the company, grow and build, and, you know, follow what Stonecipher's vision was for this company. So that's what I'm excited about. I don't know if you can tell, but okay, back to you, Timmer.
Well, you know what? I think everyone would agree. And I think for those that were unable to be there, you know, you just got to know, and you take the belief of those that were able to be there. I know when I've missed conventions, I immediately can just immerse myself into the feeling that others were there. I can immediately put myself in a place to be able to build from that. And there was some great things. You know, one thing that, you know, our new CEO said is that, you know, the word of the week was imagined, right? He said, let's just talk about imagine and what is possible. And there's 130 million people, he said, that truly need our services. You know, Mr. Mike Humes talked about building with a sense of urgency. He said, change your life by changing your mind, build your business right, and start building it right now. He goes, know what it takes to get to your next level. You know, we saw that one story of the lady here from North Carolina that figured out what she needed to do to get to the Millionaire Club. She was $337,000 short. She did that in 1 year. And so she just said, I'm going to make that happen. She skipped over a few rings to get there. And, you know, another thing that Mr. Humes said is that you're running out of time, right? Every day you get one step closer to that last day. And he said, you got to make sure that you're going to do what are you going to do with the time that you have left to live? You are not your past. Your value is greater since you have been torn, right? He said, when you go through some challenges and you go through some things, you become stronger, you become better. And, you know, when are you going to tired to, you know, start, you know, listen to some of the excuses that we give ourselves? And, you know, Mr. Steve Williamson, I mean, he talked about our financial success. And it's one thing to talk about numbers. You know, a lot of times when you're coming from his position, I know when I'm reporting numbers to my board and stuff, you know, you're excited about the numbers. You're like, look at the numbers. He spoke from the heart. I mean, the emotion that came out of him where he almost lost it a few times, you know, and the fact that he has come back to this great company, because he could easily be retired and stayed retired. You know, Mr. John Addison was, you know, as always, amazing. You know, he talked about, you know, one of the things he spoke about many years ago about never taking advice from someone more screwed up than you. And to hear him talk about that again was awesome. He goes, you said you were put on this earth to do something great. Smiling is the greatest recruiting tool that you have. It's all about your effort. You have to pay a price to succeed. You can do anything with the right level of passion and work ethic. In life, you can make money or make excuses. Are you willing to pay the price? Life's a matter of choices. And, you know, with that gets us to some of the announcements that they made, because you know, announcements are all designed to layer. And I think one of the great things too is Prospect by PPLSI. There's a new couple minute long recruiting video, which is excellent. If you've already been into PPLSI or Prospect by PPLSI, you'll see many of the small 5-minute segments are already there from this weekend. They are already up And in there, in Prospect by PPLSI, there's new things that are going to help new associates get launched quicker and faster and get the information to them right away. We're just getting better. New websites are coming out. So the speed in which you're now going to have a website. This one is so powerful. A website for those to just have somebody go and enroll with the membership if they don't have it. In the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 or 4 people that have called me going, what do I do? I don't have my website anymore, but I've got somebody that wants the membership. Well, now you've got that website, not yet, but it's coming out really soon, that inactive associate can go ahead and that may entice them to want to get the Legal Shield Advantage. And so the companies continue to make improvements. You know, they're going to be doubling the fast start bonuses between April 1st and the 15th. So instead of getting $100 when you fast start qualify, $200. And that $200 goes not only to the qualifier, but also the sponsor gets $200. The upline senior director, $400. The upline executive director, $400. So all bonuses are doubled for the next 12 days or so. Attention directors, listen, one thing we've heard over and over and over again is you don't want to be stuck at director for too long. And when Miss Sheila Bird just talked about take the ring off the pedestal, take the $1 million ring and take it off the pedestal, take senior director off the pedestal, right? Senior director is $700 worth of premium. It is getting a few people to do a few different things. Reach out to the people you've got in your organization. Get a hold of them. Send them a couple of the 5-minute videos out of Prospect by PPLSI, and let's get them charged up, because if you get senior director this month, you get a $500 bonus. Then if you do it again in the next month, you get a $1,000 bonus. You do it again, you get a $2,000 bonus. You got to have 10 new associates join your open line organization. Every one of us can do that. Take it off the pedestal. And I think one of the best announcements was Performance Club, man, to listen how they simplified everything and brought it back. They listened to the field, right? I think I had Annette called me the other day. She goes, well, how does this work in Performance Club? I don't even remember how it works because they kept changing things around. I wasn't sure. Well, now every premium dollar you get a point for. You get a new associate that gets the membership, you get 50 points. You get a new associate and they fast start qualify, you get 50 points. You open a new group, you get 50 points. All you got to do is get 150 points a month, and you can also carry over points again, right? They recognize the deficiencies in the way we were doing it right now, and they've made it better. They've increased the bonuses. You know, back to 3 to 11 months is $200, 12 to 23 months, $300, 24. It sounds just like the old days, doesn't it, folks? And it's exactly what it's like. And you get back to 36 straight months and you're up to a $500 bonus. And so I'm going to take this Zoom right now and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Drennan. I know that you were not feeling well or weren't able to be there, but I know we were texting back and forth. I know you probably had a lot of people texting you. And so I'm going to go out to you, Mr. Drennan, for some closing comments and take us to a video and close us out.
Thanks so much, Timmer, and absolutely thanks to everyone who kept me updated. I haven't missed, I think I've missed 2 in many 25 years, but first of all, I want to commend everyone who showed up. You know, your success in this business begins with showing up, and you've done that. You did it again tonight. And I want to commend the comments tonight. You know, your comments were awesome. And many people said it was a life-changing event. And think about this, you cannot give back a life-changing event. It stays with you. So just kudos. Just a couple quick comments. I have not met Warren, but I've heard him. I have a good sense of what he's about. What a great choice for this company, as you have all articulated. So I'm so happy about that. And then finally, I'm seeing a lot of faces and names on the screen tonight of future ring earners, future Millionaire Club members, people who are taking it off the pedestal, setting it next to you and going for it from that perspective. I love that. So just kudos to everyone. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording and go ahead and share